All right, ready for this? We're going deep into the world of WordPress themes, but not just any themes, themes specifically for educators.
Yeah.
And we're going way beyond just picking something that looks pretty.
Right.
It's about finding the right theme that actually works for you and helps you do all the things you want to do online.
Functionality is key.
Exactly.
I mean, think of your website as like your digital classroom.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, so it has to be well organized, easy to navigate for everyone.
Makes sense.
And accessible to everyone, which we'll get into a bit more later.
Yeah, we've got a lot to cover, and our guide for this deep dive is this blog post. It's from Technology Systems. They're an Australian web design company.
Okay.
And the post is called Top WordPress Themes, Perfect for Educators and Teachers. And, it's kind of funny, we're dissecting a blog post about websites on a podcast about making information easier to digest.
Meta, very meta.
That is, isn't it?
I guess it just goes to show, in today's world, it's not enough to just have a website.
Yeah.
People actually need to be able to find it.
Which brings us to, my least favorite topic, SEO.
SEO, everyone's favorite.
I mean, it just feels so mysterious and I don't know, educators aren't trying to sell the latest sneakers or anything.
No.
So why does SEO even matter for them?
Okay, well, think about it this way.
Okay.
Parents are out there searching for tutors, right? Students are looking for extra resources online. Maybe even your colleagues are trying to find your latest research paper.
Okay.
If your website is buried under 1 million search results, you're going to miss out on all those connections.
So it's not about selling products. It's about getting your information, your valuable information, out to the people who need it.
Yeah. And the Technology Systems, they actually highlight some really important things to consider when you're choosing a theme.
Okay, like what?
They talk about accessibility, especially because in Australia, there are specific regulations about that.
Oh, right.
It's also about making sure your website reflects your style and surprisingly good SEO.
Wait, so they actually say accessibility is important because of Australian regulations?
Yeah, they do.
Wow, I never thought about it like that.
It makes sense, though.
It does. If a website works for everyone.
That it benefits everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
And remember, accessibility isn't just about, following the rules. It's about making sure that all students, all visitors, can actually use your site and engage with your content.
I've definitely been on some educational websites that were...
Great.
Yeah, not great. They had tiny fonts and confusing layouts and broken links.
It's the worst.
Yeah, it's like trying to learn in a classroom that's totally cluttered and disorganized.
Right. And your digital space, just like a physical classroom, needs to be, inviting, well-structured, easy to use.
And that's where a good theme comes in.
Exactly.
Okay, so we get it. A good theme is more than just pretty pictures, but how do we even choose? I mean, there are 1 million themes out there.
I know, it can be really overwhelming, but now Technology Systems have a list of top themes in their blog post, and they all have different strengths depending on what you need.
Okay, so fill us in. What are some of these themes and what makes them special?
Well, there's one called Education WP. I mean, that's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, sounds pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, and then there's WPLMS, which is actually a lot more than just a theme. Yeah, it's like a full-on learning management system.
Well, an LMS?
Yeah, exactly, an LMS.
Okay, for those of us who aren't tech wizards, what exactly is an LMS? And why would you need one built into your website?
Well, think of it this way. It's basically like an all-in-one platform for everything you do online with your students. You can create courses, deliver them, manage everything all in one place.
So instead of having 1 million different tools and platforms for different things, everything is just neatly packaged within your website.
Exactly. You can have course materials, quizzes, assignments, track student progress, even have discussions all in one central location.
That sounds pretty intense.
Yeah, it can be.
Especially if you're new to online teaching and everything.
Oh, and that's why it's so important to pick the right theme, something that you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
And matches your tech skills.
So if a full LMS is too much.
Too much.
What are some other options?
Well, now Technology Systems, they mentioned this theme called Academica Pro.
Academica Pro.
And it's a really good one for schools, universities, institutions, anyone who needs a really polished, professional-looking website.
Okay, so less about the online courses themselves
Yeah, not really focused on courses.
and more about just presenting that professional image.
Exactly, like faculty profiles, research updates, upcoming events, that kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, and they also mentioned that it works really well with multilingual plugins.
Multilingual plugins, now that's a new one.
Yeah.
No idea what those are.
So basically, they let you translate your website content into a bunch of different languages.
Oh, wow.
So it's perfect for schools with diverse student bodies.
Makes sense.
Or if you're a university that wants to attract international students.
So you're opening up those educational opportunities to people all over the world.
Yeah, and that's really the point, right?
Yeah.
Choosing the right theme is about so much more than just finding something that looks nice.
Yeah, it really is.
It's about your audience, your goals. What message do you want to send?
Okay, so Academica Pro for institutions. What about like individual educators?
Well, now Technology Systems mentions a theme called Skilled, which is perfect for anyone who offers like specialized training, individual courses.
So like yoga instructors, writing coaches.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Chefs who want to do online cooking classes.
Exactly. And the cool thing about Skilled is that it works with WooCommerce.
WooCommerce, what's that?
It's this plugin that lets you sell stuff directly from your website.
Oh, so if you're like building a business around your expertise.
Right, perfect for that.
Okay, we're seeing a pattern here.
Yeah.
Themes for full-blown online schools, themes for showcasing institutions, themes for individual educators selling courses.
It's like there's a theme for everyone.
It really is.
Oh, and they mention even more options in the blog post.
Like what?
Like one called Master Study. It's specifically made for online education, and it's got all these features for teachers and students.
So many options.
Yeah.
This is amazing, but I gotta be honest, all this talk about themes and plugins, my head's spinning a little bit.
It's a lot to take in.
It is, it is.
But remember earlier when we talked about SEO and how important it is for educators?
Yeah.
Picking the right theme is just the first step.
Right.
You got to make sure your website is actually optimized so that people can find it.
It's like having a beautiful house that nobody knows how to get to.
Exactly.
What good is it if it's hidden away, right?
So that's where the SEO tips from?
Yeah.
Now Technology Systems come in.
Okay. Fill us in.
Well, they talk about using the right keywords.
Keywords, right.
Like in your page titles and descriptions, so that search engines understand what your website is about.
So instead of just calling your website my teaching website,
Right.
you'd want to say something more specific, like online math tutoring for high school students.
Exactly. The more targeted, the better.
Targeted, got it.
They also talk about optimizing your images for accessibility.
Oh, right, accessibility.
Yeah, remember we talked about that earlier.
But remind me, why is it important for images?
Well, think about a student who's visually impaired.
Okay.
If your images don't have alt text, their screen reader won't be able to tell them what the image is.
Ah, so it's about making sure everyone can understand the content.
And it actually helps your SEO too.
Really?
Yeah, because search engines, they take accessibility into account when they're ranking websites.
So it's a win-win.
Win-win.
I'm starting to realize SEO isn't just about like tricking search engines or something. It's
No.
about making your website actually good for the people using it.
Exactly. User-friendly, accessible, helpful.
Yeah.
And now Technology Systems, they also talk about how important it is to have a website that loads quickly.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Nobody wants to wait forever for a page to load.
I've definitely left websites before because they were just taking too long.
Yeah, me too. I get it.
Patience is a virtue, but
It has its limits.
it really does. It really does.
And the last thing they mention is backlinks.
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 What are those?
Basically, it's when another website links to your website.
Oh, okay.
So like if a local school district links to your website on their resources page,
That's a backlink.
that's a backlink. And it's good for your SEO because it's like a vote of confidence from another website.
Oh, I get it. Like they're saying, hey, this website's good. Check it out.
Right. And search engines, they see that and they're like, okay, this website must be credible.
So it's like a digital recommendation letter.
Exactly.
I see. I see.
So all these things together, choosing the right theme, optimizing for SEO, focusing on accessibility,
It all adds up to a better website.
a website that actually works for you and your audience.
Okay, so now Technology Systems, they seem like they really know their stuff.
Yeah, they really do.
I did have to chuckle, though, at how many times they said web design Logan in their blog post.
Maybe they're trying a little too hard with the SEO.
Maybe, maybe. But I get the sense that they're really passionate about helping educators.
Yeah, they definitely go above and beyond. They offer support and maintenance too.
Which is huge, especially if you're a busy educator who doesn't have time to mess around with websites.
Yeah, it's like having your own personal tech support team.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about, the technical stuff,
For nitty-gritty,
but I think it's important to step back and look at the bigger picture here.
the big picture.
Yeah, because technology, it's always changing, right?
Always changing.
So what works today might be totally outdated tomorrow.
That's true.
Kind of scary, right?
A little bit, yeah.
So what do educators need to do to stay ahead of the curve?
I think it's all about being adaptable, being willing to learn new things.
So not just about learning how to use the tech we have now,
Right.
but like being ready for whatever comes next.
Exactly. Stay curious, experiment with new tools, try new things.
And don't be afraid to, ask for help.
Yeah, definitely. Get feedback from students, from colleagues.
And let's be honest, a little bit of tech savvy goes a long way these days.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, who hasn't had to troubleshoot a Zoom call or fight with a printer at some point?
It happens to the best of us.
Exactly.
But those experiences, they actually help you learn,
True.
And they show how technology is just becoming more and more a part of everything we do,
Including education.
especially education.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive, we want to leave you with something to think about.
A little food for thought.
Exactly. So how do you envision the future of online education?
Yeah, what role will technology play in how we teach and learn in the years to come?
Will virtual classrooms become even more immersive and realistic?
Good question.
Will AI change how we learn in ways we can't even imagine yet?
It's pretty mind-blowing to think about.
It is. It's exciting and scary all at the same time.
Definitely.
But no matter how much technology changes,
Yeah,
I think there will always be a need for that human connection in education.
absolutely. Teachers bring passion, creativity, empathy to the classroom.
And those are things that technology can't replace.
Exactly. Technology is a tool, but it's the human element that really makes education special.
So as you're out there exploring all these WordPress themes and building your online presence,
Right.
remember to keep that human connection at the heart of everything you do.
Use technology to make your teaching better, reach more students, create amazing learning experiences.
But never forget the real goal of education.
And who knows, maybe one day we'll be featuring your website on the deep dive.
Ooh, wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, we'd love to hear your stories and see how you're using technology in your classrooms.
So keep experimenting, keep learning
And keep diving deep.
into the world of online education.
Happy teaching, everyone.
See you next time.